So this is the last book in this series. So this is the final chapter. And the books are time travel, government conspiracy theory, and I would say romance. So they're like romantic light sci-fi. The books are based on a conspiracy theory in Montauk, New York called the Montauk Project. Montauk's on the very tip of Long Island, and there's an old army base out there called Camp Hero that in the 40s was an army base, and they had all these weapons just in case Germany attacked, and they had like a whole army camp set up to look like a village, so it was hidden in case the enemy showed up. And then it became abandoned in around the 80s or so, and then very recently they turned it into a state park. So this conspiracy sort of built up around this camp, especially during the times when it was abandoned. And the idea was that Nikola Tesla faked his own death in the 40s or the 30s, and then lived through the 40s. And then he went underground in Montauk and created a time machine for the government. So the idea was that the government was running this secret paranormal weaponry sort of thing out of this secret base that nobody knew about, called Project Rainbow, or a part of Project Rainbow. Yeah, and so Nikola Tesla faked his death, came up with a time machine, and then the conspiracy went crazy from there. So there's all these theories that that they were able to use the time machine to tap into wormholes that connected us to these alien races called reptoids, and that the reptoids would come to Montauk, and there were all these like sightings that women had like on the beach, or that they were getting attacked by reptoids. And so there's a lot of different layers to this conspiracy, but yeah, it's a real thing. And so there's a lot of people who go out there to Montauk to search to find out if there's really a base under the ground. So Lydia is the protagonist through all three books. She is very tenacious, and I think that's actually my favorite quality about her, in part because I think it gets her into trouble. So in the first book, she kind of stumbles into this conspiracy. Her family is wrapped up in it in certain ways, and she ends up getting sent back to World War II era and has to figure out how her family fits in with this. And she decides when she's in the past that she wants to change the future. And so she's extremely tenacious about this, even though she's being warned by all these outside forces that it's a bad idea. She pushes and pushes and pushes, and basically does it anyway. And then the next two books are sort of dealing with the consequences of that decision. But I really liked I like that quality in her, because I think it's one that she never loses, but it's one that changes as she matures.